What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Siegfried Hoff. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we play another episode of Warhammer Quest, in which we will lead our barbarian, and I guess he's the leader? I don't know. He looks kind of angry, so I figured we would probably just tell him he's the leader, even if he's not. And so, like, our more finery-laden, basically the people without calluses on their hands, like the elf, just kind of, like, stay out of his way for right now, and just keep telling him that he's the leader as long as it keeps us alive. For right now, we need to sell off some loot. So let's sell our junk. I don't think we got that much, actually, though. We just got, like, one amethyst, I think. We want the lesser scroll of healing. Whether or not it's leather, it remains to be seen. But for right now, we want the lesser scroll of healing. The vestments of shadow we want. The Waywatcher's amulet is worthless to us, so we'll sell that for right now, because that particular character is not in our group. So what we want to do is let me go to the Adventurers Guild, and then we'll go on over to our Grey Wizard, Magnus Wolfheart. That's a pretty... If I knew a Magnus Wolfheart in high school, I would assume that he would not be an individual to be messed with just by nature of his name. If your name is Magnus Wolfheart, like, you would assume that nobody would mess with you. Let's go to his character sheet right here. And the unfortunate thing, well, we could put uncommon items on him, I guess, so that's good. That actually doesn't take up a slot, so we'll put that right there. He's got himself a Vestment of Shadow. It's going to give him toughness, and it's going to decrease his chance to get hit, so I guess it makes him more wiry and wily. So there it is. Hopefully it doesn't make him, like, prone to Wile E. Coyote-esque antics, though, because that would be unfortunate. We need no Acme anvils or anything falling on people's heads. For right now, who is that for? That looks like it's for one of, like, the Sun Warriors or what. That's for the Ogre Iron Gut? Really? Huh. That's a weird item, right? It's loot. It's worth a lot of money. It might be worth doing that quest just to get the loot. We could use the cash. We're a little bit broke right now. I mean, we're not broke. We have 577 gold, which by comparison to most people in the Warhammer universe is just like ballin', like straight thuggin' walking around with bling all over us. However, once you take into account we have to split that between like 20 people, definitely takes the stoke out of it. I think I'm going to try and actually get that item so that I can vendor it. It's worth 1,300 gold. If we sell it, it'll probably be worth closer to like 300, 400. I don't know if it's worth 30 minutes worth of our time. Let's go on the Miserable Minstrel for right now. I'm going to try and only go after the items we 100% need. Hope we don't get an event on the way out here. The events tend to be like overtly negative. Let's continue. It's time to ride, and I am excited about going further into this game. A few hours later, you find yourself amidst some ruins that the forest has long since taken over. The trees ominously tower over the decaying walls, and vicious-looking ivy has covered the rest. It's like Ivy in the Hood comes with switchblades. They sit around like, "Hey, ¿qué tal, homie?" And they sit there like around the street corner just waiting for you to walk by. The minstrel, now much happier, points to a sunken cave entrance in the center of the ruins. Off you go then, it's down there. Don't worry about the bandits, they've been scared off by whatever lurks in there. Nothing that will bother brave warriors such as yourselves. Remember, the gold is yours, but the instrument is mine. Alright, the Miserable Minstrel. Let's get going. It's the warrior's turn. I need to get people arranged out. Oh, look, his cloak is all glowy now. You see that? It catches the light weirdly. That's kind of cool. Go stand under that lamp right there so I can look at your cloak more. Well, it looked kind of glowy for a second. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's his facing. Maybe he has to face the light. Ah, well. That seems like the sort of thing like a really stereotypical paladin would say, be like, face the light, when he triggers his ability. That just seems like the sort of thing that would pop in every now and again. Oh, he wasn't glowing. It was light from the next room. Alright, well, we've got snotlings, which means that we've got a lovely boogery surprise waiting for us inside the next room. Fire at the snotlings with your bow. Does that preclude him from moving, by the way? It does. Alright, so he can't shoot and move. I just did something dumb then. Lesson learned. We should be able to get rid of most of these on this turn anyways, I think. I'm going to take him out to there. It's like take me out to the ball game. It's take me out to the snotling. And so now he's going to walk out. Let's stab a snotling right here. There we go. And on this side, we will ask him a very, very violent question. So now that the question has been asked, we get a leather satchel. Pfft. Just kidding, that's somebody's thong. Ew, we found a soiled thong down in the dungeon. That's no fun. Right about now, our barbarian's like, so who is the ruler of this body? I'm sort of wondering right now. Who is the leader? I mean, I've got the cool helmet with the horns on it, so I figure by nature of the horns on my helmet that I am probably the leader, right? Additionally, I am the buffest and I walk the most stiffest, so I figure that that means that I have a head for leadership, right? I mean, one of the things that I have observed over the course of my life is that leaders tend to be very stiff, like they've got to stick up their butt or something like that. Oh, good. It looks, hey, wizard. Hey, wizard. It looks like you have a Magnus. Magnus, it looks like your hat is recharged. It is glowing in like a weird lava lamp fashion. You're like, yes, indeed. Lava lamp fashion. You get it, fashion. Hats. I made a joke right there. It was a pun. It was a barbarian pun that I just made right there. And I wanted to make sure. I don't get many opportunities to do the punchline of the jokes. So I wanted to make sure you noticed it. Am I being needy right now? I feel like I'm being very, very needy. Mage's like, oh, I don't know. I like it when you tell the punchline. I like it when you point it out. Is there? You know. Just in case. Let's go ahead and pass the turn right here. And he's got 3 winds of magic. That's what it is. Smells like the winds of magic in here. Somebody needs to stop giving the wizard so many beans in between adventures. 5 snotlings. We've actually got really good RNG in here. Usually that's a lot worse. Like if you get orc boys and stuff like that, you have like a serious problem on your hands. Orc boys are not quite so foolish in melee combat as you assume them to be. Like they actually are pretty good at wheeling them choppas. Go ahead and get rid of some of these snotlings. There we go. Get them all out of the way. I might try and fire. Actually, give the mage some love. Give the mage some love. Mage's like, hooray! I'll get love. We'll stab the snotling with his little short sword. We got Stonebread, which is actually a useful drop at least. It's not a valuable drop, but it's a useful drop. So I'm not going to complain about it. Any healing item in this game is kind of a big deal. Just make sure you equip them before you go into combat, because if you don't, then you can't equip things. You can only access your inventory in between combat. So once you're in combat, you're done. You have the loadout that you have, and that's that. We have a scroll of healing, and I feel like I should put that on somebody. Although, yeah, let's take the scroll of healing instead of the potion of healing. It seems like it'll be a little bit more useful. Hopefully the winds that are flowing throughout the dungeon will remain as beneficial as they have been throughout the course of this adventure. But I think we've got the time to actually do multiple dungeons this playthrough, and I want to. I want to see if I can squeeze in 2 dungeons. Don't squeeze too hard, though. You don't want to give yourself diverticulosis. If you don't know what diverticulosis is, you know, like, some people have to strain really hard when they drop a deuce. Basically what happens is there are these little weak spots that open up like in your colon or like in your intestine or whatever. And these weak spots will then like balloon out. It's exactly what happens. You know how when somebody blows an elongate balloon? Imagine an elongate balloon inflating out the side of your colon. That's essentially what's happening when you strain yourself. That's why if you're having a hard time doing your daily meeting, if you have to see a guy about a dog for longer than, you know, a certain amount every day, you should probably go to a doctor or something, because diverticulosis is no joke, because it accumulates sediment. That's putting it nicely. It accumulates sediment that can then get infected after it sits in your bowel for too long. Not fun. These are old people problems. I hear about them because my mom is a caregiver. My mom's an RN. She's a caregiver for old people, like end-of-life care. And these are the problems that I get to hear about every single day, and it's terrifying. The chance that you might poop yourself to death. It seems like we may have moved forward enough in like human history right now to where we don't have to worry about that anymore. But actually, pooping yourself to death is still like a very real problem for like older people. This is going to be a long-range engagement, or a long-range engagement. I forgot a G in there somewhere. The wizard's looking all and like, ooh, an engagement. I hope we go to an engagement today. I love finery and fun. Well, yeah, okay. An engagement. It's medieval times. We can still use engagement in the manner that we used to use it back in the 50s. That works. I mean, it's still a funny joke either way when you go, oh man, please don't shoot me with arrows. Ow. Okay, so we've been shot with arrows. I'm going to move into here. Ooh, he gets 2 attacks because he made his Berserker proc. See, and so that gave him like a second chance to unleash the Daka, or I suppose it's unleash the Choppa on his opponent.
Unleash the Choppa with California for the Californians. Hanging out with the dwarf and the wizard and the elf.
There we go. I feel like the elf just doesn't even want to be here. He's like, oh my god. This is like hanging out with the lame kids for him. He's not hanging out with the cool kids right now. He's like, oh my god, I got put in the remedial party again. Remedial adventuring. So who is taking damage here? We've got 10 right there. We've got 9 right there. 9, 10, and what do you have? Have you been hit? You have not been hit. There we go. Let's go ahead and I guess I'll heal him up for right now. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. He should be fine for right now. Awesome. It's sort of like the immaterium of chaos. It simply doesn't matter. That's a physics joke. See, it's a joke about material matter. I'm combining a physics. It's a physics joke combined with a Warhammer joke. It's a double whammy. It's a 1%er, but I think it'll work. We've got the Night Goblin boss. So this should be the last room, actually. The Night Goblin boss is going to be this little bastard over here with this yellow shield. It gives him an increased block chance. He's actually not that dangerous. He's just like a normal goblin with a ton of health. I would probably recommend that you, like, try and shoot him or something. I don't know. Okay, so we got that right there. He can't move now that he's attacked. We'll fire a bow over to there. He can only move that far. That's actually not good because the longer we leave these ranged characters in play, the more damage they're gonna deal. So that becomes concerning. Ranged characters, given time to do whatever the hell they want, can actually cause us major pain and problems. You can lose a character in one turn. I'll put it like that. It would be more than possible to lose a character over the course of one turn. Oh yeah, he gets to double attack. I forgot about that. Okay, so he gets to double attack. That's the other problem with the Goblin boss. Luckily, these guys can't seem to be able to make their roll. As I said that, you got hit with an arrow so hard that it splatted blood out your ass. That's not good right there. That's a problem. That's a big issue. I'll probably leave him here and pinned with this mob. He's going to miss, unfortunately. I'm going to start firing arrows at the backfield, though, to try and get rid of some of these archers. Whew, a miss right there. I'm going to have to go for a heal right here, otherwise... So there's 3 wounds back. I'm going to use the Grey College Hat for good measure. We only got 4 power, but on the plus side, there is a bonus right here. There is a bonus, so don't lament. We've got a Berserker Rage on this side, which is going to allow us to miss twice. Oh, no, we hit him. There we go. I'll fire an arrow over here, too, just to put them on notice. There it is. So 1 damage, just to let you know. Just take it on the chin real fast and let him know that he is being watched. On this side, what I can do is, since he's more evasive and melee... Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have put him somewhere else. I should have done the mage's turn first, because this is going to backfire on me. Oh, he did 4 damage. Nice job, mage. I'm proud of you right now. So Shadow Daggers. Yeah, and you see that's gonna hurt my my warrior right now, unfortunately, but it allows him to deal a lot of damage in 1 turn, so we're gonna take it. And he's more evasive. He's like, woodly woodly, you can't hit me. That's his catch. It's like in the Looney Tunes days, everybody had like a what's up, doc type thing. Now his is woodly woodly, you can't hit me. So from now on, every time we go into combat and he missed, we gotta go woodly woodly. And so, you know, it's kind of like when you got like that turkey sound. I don't know. I grew up around turkeys, and I don't mean like people, although I do know a lot of people who were turkeys. But anyways, I grew up around a lot of turkeys. Like seriously, my mom had like pet turkeys once we moved to like this new place where there was a bunch of turkeys. My mom would feed them corn every single day, and then like hunters would come by our house and just like sit, and they knew they couldn't come on our property to shoot the turkeys. One of them offered my dad a whole bunch of money too, just to like give him exclusive rights to come shoot turkeys like in our backyard, because they were all like hand trained. Basically, he didn't want to hunt the turkey. He wanted to like walk up and like point blank it in the face. But anyways, turkeys, if you don't know what a turkey sounds like, they go kind of like, it's kind of like that right there. It's like, it's got like a weird little thing going on. And then when one of them barks, the rest of them bark too, like the toms and everything. It's just, they are a noisy, grumpy little bird. Although they're kind of friendly. You can actually pet the ones that we have. They can be hand-fed at this point. They come down to the field every single day, and you can like hand them the corn. Even the males, even in like breeding season, they won't like spur you or anything. It's pretty cool, pretty friendly. Although I wouldn't trust them. Like there's still, anytime you're dealing with a wild animal, there's the off chance that it might do something unpredictable. But anyways, he appears to be still pinned because he took his turn right there. I'm gonna pin this down with the mage in combat. There we go. Get some, mage. His entire robe is held on with just like a rope. You know you're having a bad day when your belt is a rope. I'm like, damn it. This should be the final fight, so it shouldn't matter. I think that we should be able to... Oh, man, you're going to miss? What are you going to do that for? Come on, man. I just need you to make this shot right here. Shabow! Oh, you guys have a good chance to hit, too. Well, the mage did his job. The rest of you are a bunch of failures, though. I'm going to put him right here, and I guess we can take a melee swing at him. There we go. That should be the end of the dungeon, I think. A potion of strength. Not that useful. It'll give you a strength score. I think strength does. I'd have to look in the journal to see what strength does. I think it gives you a damage modifier. I think it increases your damage threshold. On killing the mighty foe, you notice in the corner a large collection of worthless shiny trinkets and items. Your party searches through the piles of junk and discovers a beautiful silver loot. This must be what the minstrel is after. You pick it up and look to the exit of the dungeon. You are victorious. And let's see if he leveled up on this one. He might. Yeah, he did. Cool, we've got our first level 2 character. Leveling up in this game is a really, really big deal. It's a big deal along the same lines as it is in like D&D or any other old tabletop game. Like leveling up represents a massive increase in your capabilities. It's not like a level up as typically represented in modern RPGs. Leveling up in this game gives you like things like a whole nother attack and like an extra 8 HP and just like a bunch of ridiculous stuff. It's really, really good for you. It's kind of like milk. It does a body good. As promised, and perhaps surprisingly given your unusual guide, there is indeed a hoard of gold, and in one chest you find the silver loot that has the unmistakable whiff of enchantment about it. With the treasure collected, you make your way back to the surface and find the minstrel balanced on top of a dilapidated wall. He looks down on you with a delighted smile as you emerge into the evening gloom.
Victorious, I see. I knew that you would be. Can I have the loot? Give it here and I'll play us a merry ditty all the way to Siegfriedhof.
It's a little ditty about Jack and Diane. Two kids on their way to something that rhymes with, is it the American Heartland? I don't remember. I haven't heard that song in a long ass time. Anyways, don't give this guy the loot. It's an enchanted loot of control, and he uses it to witchcraft you and take all your money. He bewitches you and he takes all your money. It sucks. No, you do not give the loot to the minstrel. There's something not quite right about this annoying musician. Besides, the loot is nice enough. It's probably worth a pretty penny to the right buyer anyways. With an unseen signal, your party all agrees on the same course of action. Suddenly, your largest warrior charges forward into the crumbling wall that the minstrel has stood upon. He comes tumbling down among the ancient stones, some of which trap his legs, pinning them under their great weight.
How dare you, he squawks.
Your party pays him no heed as they walk along the track back towards the road.
We had an understanding. That loot is mine.
Well, fine.
You want the truth? I'm the bandit king, and they call me the Grey Minstrel of Siegfriedhof. I'm famous, you know. My boys are just in the woods. They'll come at my summons. But then there would be the trouble, he calls after the adventurers, then to himself, Gods, the signal was me playing the lute.
Ha ha ha. You have escaped the dungeon and the Grey Minstrel's trap. The loot is not much good in your hands, but is worth a fair few coins on the open market, which you'll easily get when you reach the next town. Off we go. It's only worth like 100. It's not really worth that much. We haven't gotten any amazing loot yet. What you're waiting for is for like the good stuff to drop like we keep seeing in those other dungeons. You're waiting for that good shit to drop. Anyways, back to Siegfriedhof to get our job done. Let's see here. Your warriors dally on the return to Siegfriedhof, spending more than a few nights out in the open. When they arrive back in town, they notice that Siegfriedhof is busy. A nervous energy permeates the residents and crowds. They are drawn towards the main square. Your party follows the human current, curious as anyone to see what is happening. In the center of the square, upon a raised stage, a long but sturdy wooden pole extends upwards with a length of thick rope attached to the end. Dangling on the rope, tied by his ankles, a familiar figure sways like a human pendulum. As he flails about, the watching masses caterwaul and pelt him with rotten vegetables. Some even strike out with improvised cudgels should he swing into range. The adventurers recognize the hapless victim as none other than the Bandit King himself, the Grey Minstrel. He must have been caught whilst your party was dawdling on the return trip. The warriors push their way forward, keen to find out what's come about, and even gloat if they get the chance. Despite the swinging motions and upside-down perspective, the Grey Minstrel spots your party as they draw near.
Greetings, says the Grey Minstrel, smiling in spite of his predicament. I promised revenge, and now I have you right where I want you,
he says while swinging overhead, barely missing a large marrow thrown from the mob.
Don't worry about this, it's all part of the plan. I have this daughter, you see.
He points with a flailing hand. Your party turns to see the Burgomeister standing firm just beyond the rabble with a grim visage, flanked by the town's watch. Visage. I always say that word wrong. Visage, visage, whatever.
He's waiting for me to give up the location, but I'm only going to tell you lot. It's a trap, you see, and one you're going to walk right into. He won't kill me while his daughter's alive, and if she dies, well, he'll kill all of us. I'd go if I were you.
The Grey Minstrel breaks off if he's hit in the face by a large sodden cauliflower. Cauliflower smells pretty bad when it's fresh, so I can't imagine it smells that great when it's rotten. Well, the Grey Minstrel's revenge. This happens no matter what. Even if you take the loot, if you give him the loot, you still have to do this event. So if you give him the loot, you get robbed, and he takes like 200 gold from you. If you don't give him the loot, you get 100 gold, and when you get back here, the same thing happens, so don't worry about it. Let's sell off some goodies. I will more than likely sell that for the 100 gold because we need the money right now. We've actually had fairly bad loot rolls the entire time, so I'll probably sell the potion of strength too because our inventory is full. I don't know if you noticed, but we're pretty much full up on things. Provisions are nice for healing. Those are too expensive. There's a great sword right here, which I think you can give to the Marauder. 740 gold, but that would mean we can't level up would be the problem. And he would have to lose his shield, which I think the shield is pretty good. He can use that as well, the Masterwork Longsword. I would think that saving up for it's probably a good idea. It'll be gone after today, but we'll see it again in the future. The same stuff tends to cycle around in here. So, let's go back, and we need to level people up right now, because we have the ability to gain some stature. The Adventurers Guild. Let's see, that's not what I want. I need the training grounds. There we go. 100 gold to trade him up, and we'll see what he gets. He gets another strength, he gets another toughness, he gets 3 wounds, and he gets the passive ability, ignore wounds. The Marauder is sometimes able to ignore a wound that would normally knock him down. When this happens, he remains standing with 1 wound remaining. So that means that any time that he's about to be incapacitated at 0 health, he gets to make a dice roll to see if he stays on his feet. That's actually a really, really badass ability, and one that can proc multiple times in a row. Like, you can get it, you don't have a huge chance, but I've seen it happen before where for multiple turns, he just sits there and just gets wailed on and still doesn't go down. Like, it gets really, really gnarly. He gets wailed upon. Like, he's like the Nissin Maru or whatever the hell the name of that whaling ship is. I don't know. Anyways, whaling. You know, like the enemy is a whaling ship. I don't know. I don't have any good metaphors or puns for this. Let's go. Adventurer time. Alright, so now we have to go rescue the mayor's daughter. That one gives you an ogre hat. Not really interested in an ogre hat. That's not going to be that helpful. I guess we'll do the Grey Minstrel's Revenge, which is going to be Orks and Goblins. We'll get it started right now because we've obviously got another 5-6 minutes left in our episode. So if we can hustle it down and run down some enemies, I think that would definitely be advantageous to us. In we go. Your adventurers have followed the Grey Minstrel's haphazard directions and have come upon a foreboding entrance into the depths. The armed escort of the Siegfriedhof Guard halts here. They're clearly not keen to accompany your party in there. Look on the bright side. If you fail to save the girl, the Grey Minstrel will share your fate. But if you are successful, a rich and powerful Burgomeister will be in your debt. A Burgomeister is kind of like he's sort of like a sheriff meets a mayor. Like, it's kind of like a mayor and a sheriff combined. He's kind of like a mariff. There we go. That's what a Burgomeister is. I think a Burgomeister is from Germany? Or maybe Austria? I don't know where Burgomeisters were originally from, but it's a title that you got back in the day. It meant you were a minor noble who ran like a city, basically, but you were also in charge of, like, law keeping. You were also like a judge, sort of. Alright, you ever wonder who decorates dungeons? Like, seriously, though. I'm a barbarian, and I spend a lot of time down in dungeons, and who decorates these places? Like, every single dungeon, look, I've seen that barrel in, like, 9 dungeons before. It's the same barrel. Also, who leaves a weapon rack in a dungeon? What was this used for previously? And, like, why is there a large tile laying here in the... Where did it come from? There's no missing tile anywhere. There's just one giant tile laying... Oh, maybe it goes in that spot right there. Maybe it's a little bit fractured, like we have to rotate it, and maybe do a little bit of, like, geometry. I'm a barbarian, so geometry never works out for me. The only geometry that I care about is these guns. You know how it goes when you're a barbarian. It is suns out, guns out for us. I mean, the sun's not out right now. I fully realize that we are in a dungeon, and so, you know, the whole guns out problem, probably not good right now. Probably actually exposed flesh while being slashed at by enemies is a terrible idea, but still, you've got to show them off. I spend all this time on the gym, you know, we do all the different incline presses and whatnot. We actually spend a considerable amount of time at the gym. It's part of the barbarian's day. You kind of have to do it, otherwise you are ridiculed, they call you a nerd, they stick your head in the barbarian toilet and give you a swirly, but we don't have working plumbing, so it's more like them sticking your head in the outhouse and then swirling your head around. We have to make up for the fact that there's no swirling water by doing it with our hand. It's a minor engineering augmentation that we have to make along the way. Let's see here, only 2 winds of magic, great. Well, in this room, we've got 3 night goblins with a bow and 1 night goblin. Why are they called night goblins? As far as I know, when we came inside, it was daytime. This moniker is not working for me right now. Ugh. However, this axe to the face is totally working for this guy. I'm going to shoot you with a bow. Hold still. Oh, I missed. Unfortunately, this helmet, it's sort of... You can't see it, but I'm missing an eye right now in my portrait. My depth perception is not what it used to be, and in fact, it is not what it... Well, I mean, there's no true thing said. It is not what it used to be because I lost a damn eye. It was a bad day for me. Oh, hell. Okay, so we missed our shot right there. And that's going to be a literal missed shot, not a figurative one. And since we only have 2 magic left, I really have no way to reach out and touch this guy with the winds of magic. So I guess we're going to have to suffer a blow right here. Hey, he missed. Hooray! Alright. We've got... Let me go back through here. And he got his berserk proc, so he gets to attack twice, but it's still not doing much for him. Alright, Bowman, see what you can do. See? It's... Sometimes I rely on these things to happen, and they just don't. There we go. We finally got him. You kind of want to, like, end... Ooh, we got a circlet. That's for the warrior priest, though, so that's not going to do us much good. We can sell it, though, which is pretty sweet. Alright, well, straight into the next part of the dungeon, because that's how I ride. We've got ourselves a lovely little imperial insignia right here. We'll step ourselves in. Was it wibbly wibbly, or is it woobly woobly that he says when he dodges? Like, woobly woobly! I think it's woobly woobly. I like woobly woobly the best. It sounds more fun. Woobly woobly. I owed him a couple woobly wooblies because he dodged some blows right there. Let's go ahead and I think it's kind of funny that like the apex of human technology at one point was firing pointy sticks at each other. Like I think that's still I think that's kind of hilarious. Like right now, firearms technology and ballistics are actually fairly complicated. A lot of work goes into like, for example, Sig Sauer producing like a new pistol. Like they do a lot of engineering. Really, we got 2 corridors? I guess we'll get out of here then. It'd be kind of funny if we were like in the core of the world and then there was like a corridor full of doors. So you were in a corridor and each door was a corridor. It was a door in the core. I don't know. I feel like that would be awesome. Either that or like it would just be like a Marine Corps barracks and then everything right there would be a corridor. You know, it seems like I'm stretching right now. I feel a little bit like I feel like Stretch Armstrong at the moment, so I'm going to let it go. I got that goofy smile on my face and everything. Up the ground, before the various warriors, lies an elderly woman bound and wounded. She wears the garb of a priestess of Shalia. The warriors quickly free her, but she is teetering on the edge of life, her body broken, although her spirit is unbowed. Shalia thanks you for your intervention, she says. My life is all but gone. However, a gift for your help is in my power to give, she says before her life flickers out. Oh, she healed us. A priestess of Shalia in Warhammer Fantasy. I think Shalia is a goddess of like... Oh, I can't remember. There's a dwarvish goddess, and I don't remember if that's Shalia or not, but there's a goddess of like fertility and wine, and I think that's Shalia. I think. I'm not positive. It might be a different goddess. It's been a while. My Warhammer Fantasy is really, really rough. I'm not as in tune with it as I am with Warhammer 40k. Let's see here. Let's take a swipe at this gent. Oh, good, we got him, and we procced a death blow. That brings me joy and also happiness and copious quantities of viscera flying through the air. It's a visceral feeling, cutting the viscera from your foes. You're going to keep missing with that bow, aren't you? You were just murdering. I said that you were the better character between you and the other guy. There you go. At least stab a fool. Your abilities at shanking appear to be unhindered. And then I'll put him right here because we can try and tempt a death blow right here if we can manage it. We're going to miss, though, so unfortunately that's not going to be within the realm of possibility. I guess I'll move our wizard up to here. He did 2 damage. He made the hit, so... Ah, well. If he were a pop star, it would be worthwhile. Whoopity whoopity! He managed to dodge right there. Oh, and you see how he procced that right there? And he hit everybody for 1 damage around him. It's because he failed his test for his berserk. Take another swipe right here. Unfortunately, we're going to miss. I'm going to fire an arrow over to there. Does he still get an arrow, or does he lose all of his attacks? He loses all of them. Okay, well, the shank is unleashed upon our enemy. And the axe is lowered into our enemy's face, cleaving it in twain, and we bring ourselves another ornate weaver's patch. Okay, I don't know what a weaver's patch is doing down here. Weavers, they prefer to work in like these little grassy patches. It's called a weaver's patch. And every now and again you find one of those and it's kind of useful. Meh. How much health are we missing right now? Not a lot. I think we can get away with not healing people for right now. So let's move people up to the next gate. And then in we go. The warriors come across a halfling blindly wandering the passages of the dungeon. He seems pleased to meet the warriors and immediately suggests stopping for some lunch. From his pack, he produces rations that an upmarket tavern would be proud to serve. How long do you want to spend eating the feast? Let's spend an hour. And we get attacked because we hung out for too long. It's okay, it's not a big deal, but we got healed. On the plus side, oh, they're way back in the hallway. This is actually a fairly problematic encounter. So I'm going to fire at him right there. Got him. Alright, I get excited when ranged attacks hit in this game. And then I'm going to try and draw people out of line of sight. Or at least bring them forward a little bit. We're going to miss right there. I'm going to try and drag him over to here. We'll take an attack. Unfortunately, it's going to be a failed attack. We're going to get death blow right there. But we're not going to get to finish the job. Instead, we're going to finish it right there. And I'm going to fire an arrow deep down the corridor right there. I think they'll probably focus on these two, unfortunately. Which means, oh, we got 3 damage right there. Not bad. Okay, I'd like to get him a longbow, actually. 3 damage, no damage. He goes berserk, which means he gets the +1 attack. Unfortunately, sometimes I wish the berserk let him move farther. However, it doesn't appear to be a thing that we can do right now. So there's a kill right there. Our ranged characters are unfortunately kind of pinned. I shouldn't have done that melee attack. He was pinned anyways. So there's not much you can do about it. Keep the ranged attacks flowing, I guess. We're going to miss right there. He got himself 4 magic. Technically, it might be useful had I... Let's go ahead and fast forward real quick. 2 shots away, they're both going to miss. I'm going to move him up to there. We're going to move him. Actually, I should have moved him to here so that he would get 2 attacks if he gets a death blow. This does make us backtrack nastily, but we'll make it. It'll be okay. We'll do an attack right there. We're not going to get it, so that means that we're going to have to bring it over here.
You ain't never gonna get it.
I missed that Akon song. That was a good Akon song. Akon hasn't had a good song in a long-ass time.
Ain't never gonna get it.
I like that song. It was in Fight Night Round 3, wasn't it?
Well, I know you like my swagger. Don't trip, you know I come through. Chain hanging like Galley Barber. You know me, you know how I do. The way that I move. You ain't never gonna get it. It's all too smooth. You ain't never gonna get it.
I feel like I got sidetracked on that song. I'm trying to fit this. Like, we're going to see if this junction leads anywhere. If it doesn't lead anywhere, we'll break off the episode. But until we get there, I'm just going to leave it running. Alright, so he got 6 winds of magic. Just don't stand next to me when you break it. On that side, let's give him some health. Aw, 1 wound. Something about healing that dwarf. He just does not like to be healed. Ah, well, what can you do? Sometimes you just can't do anything. It's Warhammer Quest. You can zoom out really, really far, by the way. I don't know if I ever brought that up. The Grey Minstrel's Revenge. Suddenly, a large slab of masonry falls to the ground with a loud crash, and the whole room shakes, and the ceiling starts to crumble. The dungeon is collapsing. You haven't got long. Find the girl and get out. So we've got a gigantic spider and 4 night goblins. This is actually a troublesome encounter. So what we need to do is get started over here and hope that we don't miss a whole lot. This giant spider is going to be an issue for us. I need to get an attack off on him so that he gets pinned. We missed right there. There's a night goblin back there. Let's... Ooh, this is troublesome. We have issues right now. A lot of issues, and more than usual. I would actually rather have you right there. I need him pinned, is what I need, and he's got a lot of HP, so technically this might not go well for us. I could firebomb him. Oh, that does AoE. I didn't know the firebomb did AoE. I thought it only because the targeting right there. Okay, so the firebomb's not going to work. Oh, he didn't one-shot us. I'm so happy right now. Like, seriously, this spider one-shots people. It's the worst. And we have, like, 5 turns until this is no longer, like, a manageable strategy. Hopefully, he doesn't berserk out. Oh, good. So he got the good berserk instead of the bad one. He's getting his guts on right now. So let's go for the attacks right there. We've got to focus on the spider. If we can't get rid of it, we're going to be stuck here forever. I'm going to start firing arrows into the back line, and I actually would recommend you do the same. And then over here... another miss. That means we're going to have to risk another turn of possibly dying. I'm going to use... No, not right now. We'll wait. Okay, so 10 damage right there. He's not dead, but he might be very shortly. It depends. The AI does focus fire in this game, so you can wind up in some nasty situations on occasion. There's 9 damage right there. He should still have his berserk, right? In being pinned, he got the kill right there. We have to finish them on this turn, though. So there's the death blow. Bring it home. White Scar, I'm sorry, White Blood, you are the dude right now. That's actually a pretty difficult challenge right there. We got a battered dwarven helm. Why they've decided to deep fry that particular piece of cranial accessory, I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's delicious. We'll end it. We're going to sell it because he starts with that piece of equipment anyways. Okay, and so let's see how we did here. Oh, we're so close to a level up with our archer. We could use a level up. Like, I don't want to grind, but we may have to. We may have to do like an extra dungeon or two. The last of your party sprints into daylight just as the resounding crash and large billowing clouds of black dust erupt from the dungeon entrance. Your party has escaped and saved the Burgermeister's daughter. This is just as well as he stands before you, flanked by the town watch once more. Alicia, he says, embracing the girl. He turns to your party. You shall be richly rewarded for this, and I am in your debt. And don't worry about the accursed minstrel. He won't be troubling you or I again. He summons 2 guards for it who carry with a heavy chest between them. They set the chest down before the adventurers and then withdraw. The girl looks back at her saviors one last time and is then ushered away, along with the Burgermeister and the entire retinue. Being ushered away just means that you dance a lot more than you would normally. When I usher away from a situation, it's like, I do like a little Michael Jackson dance. You know, I try to be like Usher. I get my fade shaved in. You know how it goes. Let's travel back to Siegfriedhof for right now. There it is. And so now that we're back in Siegfriedhof, I'm going to break off the episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Warhammer Quest. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.